It's tap your foot. People keep on learning. Soldiers keep on warring. Keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Hey, oh, yeah. Powers keep on lying, while your people keep on dying. Keep on turning, 'cause it won't be too long. Hey, I'm so darn glad he let me try it again. My last time on earth, I lived the whole world a second. I'm so glad that I know more than I know then. Keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Teachers, keep on teaching, yeah. Believers, keep on believing. World, keep on turning, turning, turning. Won't be too long, yeah. So darn glad he let me try it again. My last time on earth, I lived the whole world to see you. I'm so glad that I know more than I know then. Keep on trying till I reach my highest ground. Hey, come on, clap your hands. Everybody listen. Say higher. Say higher. Say higher. Higher. Say higher, 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 higher. Take me higher till I reach my highest ground. Hey, until I reach my highest ground. Hey.
Give it up one more time. 56 years ago, when Dr. King was assassinated, I asked our next speaker, Bob Stanton, who was born in Fort Worth, Texas, was recruited by then Interior Secretary Stuart Udall, who traveled to predominantly black colleges and campuses recruiting students. He has held several positions at the Park Service, including a public information specialist at the Washington, D.C. headquarters, superintendent of the Virgin Islands National Park in St. Thomas, deputy regional director of the Southeast Regional National Parks in Atlanta, but more importantly, in 1988, he became the first African-American to serve as director of the National Park Service. That is something to be clapping about. Stanton's nomination for that post by former President Clinton was the first to be held and approved by the U.S. Senate. He was confirmed unanimously. Please give a round of applause for Mr. Bob Stanton.
Good evening. Thank you very much, Harry, for that gracious introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Reverend clergy, our honored guest. I am privileged, I'm honored, I'm humbled by being extended an invitation by Mr. Harry Johnson to share with you very briefly some reflections on the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. As a result of an assassin bullet while he stood on the balcony of Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, Tennessee, he transitioned home to be with his God on this day 54 years ago. But Dr. King left us an enduring legacy, anchored in faith, anchored in love, anchored in hope, and words of encouragement and wisdom for all time. Words of encouragement and wisdom for all time. We certainly could not and cannot acknowledge the courage, the achievements, and the counsel of Dr. King without acknowledging Mrs. Coretta Scott King and his 4 children who were with him all the way. Nor can we stand here and acknowledge Dr. King and his leadership without what he had done faithfully is to acknowledge all who were with him on the struggle. Many individuals and organizations, and the more prominent organization in that struggle is represented by one of the speakers here today, and I speak of none other than the National Council of Negro Women. I will use my few moments to address this nation's most important resource. It's the most important resource of any nation. And we cannot make any investment more valuable than in this investment of this resource, because our destiny, our future, is determined by their courage, their conviction, and their leadership. And I speak of none other than our youth. Join me in welcoming all our young people who are with us. Dr. King, at the tender age of 15, was admitted to the freshman class at Morehouse College, where he received the attention of one of our most preeminent educators and college administrators, Dr. Benjamin E. Mays. And he recognized there was a certain potential in Dr. King. 10 years from the time that he enrolled at Morehouse, he had received his PhD from Boston University. At the age of 25, he assumed his first church, Dexter Avenue Baptist Church, Montgomery, Alabama. The leadership of the NAACP, including Ms. Rosa Parks and other leaders, recognized his potential, his leadership potential. And he, along with the NAACP and many others, successfully carried out the Montgomery bus boycott that led to a court decision that segregated busing by law is inconsistent with the letter and the spirit of the 14th Amendment, which states thusly, equal protection of the laws. He continues to be in the struggle. He continued to gain national and international prominence. I would just ask our young people here, and those who are a little older, so inclined, take a look at a brief, I guess you call it a speech, but a brief reflection on Dr. King as to the purpose of education. An article that he wrote for his college newspaper at Morehouse, the purpose of education, and be guided by that. That would give you some indication of his wisdom early on. And lastly, I would ask those of us who are parents and guardians and in leadership position as we reflect on the loss of Dr. King, recognizing that he left for our guidance, our counsel, words of wisdom, but also the evidence of his outstanding work that led to major pieces of legislation. But he left, in his own words, some deep wisdom. I would ask you to take a look at the letter from Birmingham jail, published in May of 1963, just 2 or 3 months before he led the March on Washington. Then take a look, all of us, take a look at his 4th book, published in 1967. I think he knew that there would be a message in the title of that book. It's a message that is relevant today as it was in which the book was published. Take a look at that book, his wisdom, his guidance. And the title of that book is a profound question that we seemingly, for whatever reason, found difficult to answer in the affirmative. The title of that book is simply this: where do we go from here? Chaos or community? When will we answer that question? We want community. That, my friend, is Dr. King's legacy, that we will answer in the affirmative. We will choose community over chaos, but we have a ways to go. Thank you very much.
Please give it up one more time for the Honorable Bob Stanton. Our speaker really needs no introduction. She wears many hats. Shavon Arline-Bradley is the president and founding principal of Reach Beyond Solutions, LLC, a strategy innovative consulting firm. She also, in her time on this earth, has served as executive vice president of strategic planning of partnerships at the NAACP. But more importantly for us tonight, she is the president and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women. So please give it up for her. And let me tell you a little bit about the National Council of Negro Women. It is an organization of organizations comprised of 330 campus and community-based sections and 33 national women's organizations that enlightens, inspires, and connects more than 2 million women and men. Its mission is to lead, advocate for, and empower women of African descent, their families, and communities. Founded in 1935 by Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, an influential educator and activist, and for more than 50 years, the iconic Dorothy Irene Height was the president. And you should know Dorothy Height was the only woman present in 1963 when Dr. King gave his speech. Would you please give a warm welcome to the president and CEO of the National Council of Negro Women, please. Reverend, I know you got somewhere to go, son.
Well, good evening, everyone. I would be nowhere else other than here tonight. It is an honor to be here to stand with you tonight. And I'm so excited to see faces that I love, the voice that I love to hear. Harry Johnson, thank you for this invitation. It's an honor to be here with all of you tonight. And as you're here at this memorial, one of the things that's so important tonight is to consider the ground that we stand on. This is hollow ground. And I am a preacher, which means I love gospel music. There's a song by one of my favorite artists, Hezekiah Walker, that says, "Faithful is our God." And that song is such an encouraging number because gospel fans know that this song speaks to how the Lord continues to keep us. When things turn against you or enemies try to destroy you, our God is faithful. There's a line in the song, however, that continues to repeat itself. And in the black gospel tradition, if there's a repeated line, that's an important line. If there's a repeated line, that line intends to have an impact on your soul. It says, "I'm reaping the harvest God promised me, taking back what the devil stole from me." These words hit different as we stand on this ground today. The memorial for a man that was promised to us by God, a man whose work was harvested and whose people who stand before me harvested from, reaped from. A man, a husband, father, preacher, and visionary who on this day, at the tender age of 39 years old, was stolen from this world. Stolen by hate and ignorance, and for many of us, believed by order. Today, as we remember the man whose life was taken by a coward's bullet, who thought that killing a man would kill a movement. And as we stand here on this sacred space, I'm reminded that King's dreams, King's words, and King's calling continue to live on today. That song denotes what was stolen from us. And I think about our country's courts, our country's political state, and our divisive context. There's some things that have been stolen from us even today. Our voting rights have been stolen. Our attempt to maintain civil rights has been stolen. Our ability to provide voter engagement and support has been stolen. Our ability to protect historically black colleges in states like Tennessee, where King was assassinated, has been stolen. But if we can be honest tonight, sometimes truth is stolen too. As we watch this upcoming election, the lies spewed about the past, our unconstitutional election, as they say, lets me know that evil tries to lurk, but we will not let the devil steal our joy. Evil is lurking when our people don't align and we don't agree to disagree within our own communities. And as I reflect on Dr. King, I believe that he would want us to reclaim what was stolen from him. So the question for us tonight is simple. What must we take back to ensure the dream of the drum major continues to live on? We've got to take back our collective purpose. For many of us who show up every day in our respective spaces, sometimes we get so caught up in everyday life that we begin to operate on autopilot and miss the opportunity to sit with what is our mission. The MLK Memorial Foundation's mission was to be more than a monument. It was to ensure that we would have a living space where people from all walks of life would come together and aspire to live a life based on the principles of democracy, justice, hope, and love. And as the president of NCNW, I stand on the shoulders of one of Dr. King's closest comrades, Dorothy Height, where we stand to lead, advocate, and empower women of African descent, our families, and communities. So, my friends, what's your mission tonight? As a people, sometimes we find ourselves moving in different directions, and we've not done the due diligence that it takes to hone in on collective purpose. And I'm calling on us as the planes fly over us tonight to hone in on the legacy of a visionary man, that we convene collective purpose as a people. Collective purpose in my mind means we find destination to liberation and ensure that education, economic power, and social justice is for one and for all. My brothers and sisters, not only must we think about collective purpose, but we also want to honor Dr. King tonight with collective presence. If Dr. King could talk to us tonight, I suspect he would ask, where have you all been? Where have you been as we live in this age post-COVID, where showing up has not been the norm anymore? Well, I want you to know tonight, your presence is valuable in this space. And as a society, unfortunately, we've been growing so disconnected from each other. But in the spirit of freedom, Dr. King did not pay this price for his life for us to just be free, but to be free and faithful together. And tonight, I want the people to be on face value. Show your face in the place to mentor young people. Show your face in the ballot box to ensure you vote. But not only must you have collective purpose and presence, tonight I want to close with this. We've got to take back what's been stolen from us, which is our collective power. The black community and all communities have been through many dangers, toils, and snares. But tonight I want you to know that our resilience as a people is a product of collective power. There is no fight that the American communities collectively have fought and lost, because when we as a people fight together, we win together. Dr. King didn't activate the bus boycott by himself. He didn't march from Selma to Montgomery by himself. He didn't pass this legislation of voting rights and civil rights by himself. No, he noted the power was to all the people. It was never a pun. It was a cry to reignite flames that burn in our hearts for freedom and justice for all. And I implore you tonight, don't let anyone steal our power. We'll stand in the face of enemies, in the face of liberty and justice, and fight enemies that fight against our plans for prosperity. And yes, we will also stand face to face in the ballot box so that we can all collectively save democracy again. That song that I referenced in the beginning of this conversation closes out with one of my favorite lines. It says, I'm reaping the harvest God promised me, take back what the devil stole from me, but that's not the end of the story. It says, I rejoice today, for I shall recover it all. And Dr. King, they tried to steal your impact, but it was just impossible because you were so impactful. And tonight we honor Dr. King. We rejoice today because of his sacrifice and the grace of God that we're all listening tonight. We march on and we shall recover it all. May God bless you, and remember that we are standing on sacred ground, knowing that our ancestors will be so proud to see black, white, all together here for freedom, liberty, and justice for all. God bless you.
Give it one more time, Madam President. I think she has another engagement. She has to fly to New York, but we thank her for coming out tonight. At this time, we're going to ask Mr. Clifton to come back up, and then we're going to do a quiet march to the memorial with your candles on. Mr. Clifton, would you please?
If I was in church, I would say, praise the Lord, everybody. My last song that I'm going to sing is a short medley. The first song is from the movie Harriet. The song is called Stand Up. And it talks about Harriet stealing the slaves to freedom. And the second song is from the movie Selma. And if we all know, if we all remember, if we don't know, Dr. King marched on Bloody Sunday in Selma. And this is what this movie is about. So I hope you all enjoy it. I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. Weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. 'Cause I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. And while the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, it's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on holding on. And the war isn't over, and victory isn't won, but we'll fight to the finish. And when it's all said and done, we'll cry glory. We'll cry glory. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. And we'll cry glory. Glory. Yeah. Oh, we'll cry glory. And we'll cry. Somebody cry out glory. Oh, we'll get to glory. Yeah, 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 yeah. One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, one day, when the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure, we will be sure. Oh, one day.
stand. Let us get ready to walk the wreath down to the memorial so you can turn your lights on. Reverend, if you will come up forth, and Bob Stanley, if you will come forth, and any kids that want to come up. So parents, if you want your kids to come join us up front, please let the kids come on up, please.